Hello, everyone. Mr. Corey here, back with another math lesson. So today we're on lesson 14 problem set. Looks like this at the top. Page number 1.E.9. 1.E.9, okay? Should look like this. We have some fruit items on the screen. Got some baskets over here on the right-hand side. So if you could follow along with me today, that'd be great. All right, so we have some more multiplication. The first question is a kind of a long one. It fits the whole page. So I'm going to put the whole page here on my screen. It's not quite as zoomed in as it usually is, so hopefully you can see it okay. All right, so for this one it says, skip count by fours, match each answer to the appropriate expression. All right, so we're going to skip count on this question, okay? Skip counting by fours. And they already started to do the first couple for us. All right, so they gave us some fruit here to help us count. All right, so the only reason those pieces of fruit are here is just to help us count by fours. So if you can't count by fours in your head, you can use these pieces of fruit to help you count by fours as you go, okay? So the very first one they put on here is 4. We're not going to worry about the baskets for now. We'll come back to that in a second. They already counted it, put 4 here because there's 4 items of fruit. And then if we keep counting, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They put an 8 here in this box. So 4, 8. And now if you can skip count by fours, go ahead and skip count. So 4, 8. If you know what 8 plus 4 is, 8 plus 4 is 12. So you can kind of skip count all the way down if you can do that. Otherwise, you can use these fruit to help you, kind of like on a number line. So we're going to skip count by fours. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Because 12 plus 4 equals 16. If you know what 16 plus 4 is, write it here in this box. Otherwise, count the fruit. So starting with 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 16 plus 4 equals 20. And I'm going to go ahead and skip count because I know how to skip count in my head. Once again, if you don't, especially on the homework page, go ahead and count the items on the page. All right, so 20 plus 4 equals 24. 28. 32, 36, 40. All right, so that's how we skip count by fours. The next part they want us to do is to connect the dots from the baskets to the numbers. And if you notice over here on the baskets, there are some multiplication expressions, okay? So they did the first one for us. The very first one is 4 because we had the first 4 fruit. And we have to find a multiplication expression over here on the basket that represents and gives us the answer for 4. So all of these multiplication problems are all something times 4, okay? Blank times 4. And honestly, it's pretty easy if you think about it because every time we did this, we skip counted by fours. So if you know this is 4 times 1 like they just gave us, so 4 times 1 is right here because we just had 4 1 times, right? The next one here is skip counting by 4 2 times because we have 4 plus 4. So we know this multiplication problem that equals 8 has to be 2 times 4, right? Because we skip counted by 4s 2 times. So 2 times 4 is 8. The same thing as skip counting by 4s twice. Let's do one more together and I'm going to have you pause my video and see if you can figure out the rest. 12. That means we skip counted by 4s how many times? Started here with 1, 2, 3. So if we're skip counting by 4s 3 times, that must mean that the multiplication equation or the multiplication sentence or expression, however you want to say it, is 3 times 4, right? Because we're skip counting by 4s 3 times. So now we just have to find 3 times 4 over here, and it's at the very bottom. All right, pause my video and see if you can go ahead and do the rest on your own and then come back and see if you got yours right, okay? So while you're gone, I'm going to go ahead and connect the numbers to the baskets and then come back and see if you're right. All right, so welcome back. If you pause me, I'm connecting the dots now. Or I shouldn't really say the dots, but I'm connecting the numbers to the, whoops, and I just messed that one up, didn't I? Yep, let me fix that. I'm connecting the numbers to the baskets because depending on what number we have to match it up with the correct multiplication expression. So 28, I accidentally drew my line wrong, so hopefully you didn't do that. 28 is 7 times 4. 32 is 8 times 4. 36 is 9 times 4, which is right here. And then 40 is 10 times 4. I know I have a lot of lines going all over the place, so yours should look pretty similar to mine. But just make sure whenever you're skip counting, like this is 1 times 4 because we counted by 4 one time. 2 times 4 because we skip counted by 2, or I'm sorry, skip counted by 4s 2 times. Next one, 12, we skip counted by 4s 3 times, and so on all the way down to 40, where we skip counted by 4s 10 times. All right, so all of your lines should match that. Okay, let's go ahead and go on to the next page. Go ahead and turn the page over. Looks like this. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in this time so you guys can see it a little bit better. All right, and we are on number 2. Okay. Number 2 says, Mr. Schmidt replaces each of the 4 wheels on 7 cars. How many wheels does he replace? Draw and label a tape diagram to solve. All right, so let's draw our tape diagram first. If you remember, that's one of those big rectangles. Okay. So he replaces each of the 4 wheels on 7 cars. So as we know, a car has 4 wheels, right? So 4 tires, 4 wheels. And we're talking about 7 cars. So since we have 7 cars, let's go ahead and make 7 boxes on our tape diagram that represent 1 for each car. So we have 1 box, 2 boxes, 3 boxes, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 boxes that represent 7 cars. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes. Okay. All right. So how many wheels are on each car? Because he replaced all the wheels on every car, right? And they told us we have 4 wheels. So in each car, in each box, we want to write 4 wheels. So if you want to get fancy and draw your wheels, go for it. Otherwise, you can do what I'm going to do and just do circles. Because each of these cars has 4. Or you could actually draw a car in each box and draw your wheels on the car. However you want to do it, go right ahead. But just for time, just so you guys aren't watching me draw 7 cars, I'm just going to do circles. All right. So there's my cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars. Each car has 4 wheels. How many wheels does he replace? So kind of like the front side, we could skip count by 4s, right? We could skip count by 4s because each box has 4 in it. So let's go ahead and do that. This one's 4. And then you guys can help me skip count. 4 and then 4 more is 8. We keep skip counting by 4s. 4, 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. And we just keep going. 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So Mr. Schmidt replaces 28 wheels. To write a multiplication expression, doesn't ask us to do it, but let's do it anyway. To write a multiplication expression, we could do 7 cars. Talking about 7 cars times how many wheels per car. 1, 2, 3, 4 tells us that. So we could do 7 times 4. And that tells us we need to skip count by 4 7 times, which we just did. So if we do 7 4 times and skip count, that'll give us the same answer of 28. Okay, so the whole tape diagram just kind of gives you a way to look at the expression and kind of get an idea in your head how we're doing this. But the multiplication expression is just kind of a quick way to find the answer. Okay, so 7 times 4 equals 28. Let's move on to the next one. Anytime I'm going too fast, like always, pause my video and then press play when you're ready. Okay, the next question, number 3. Trina makes 4 bracelets. Each bracelet has 6 beads. Draw and label a tape diagram to show the total. I'm sorry, the total number of beads Trina uses. So once again, let's do this tape diagram. All right, so she makes 4 bracelets. Each bracelet has 6 beads. So we need to do a tape diagram that has 4 boxes because each box is going to be another bracelet. 1 box, 2 boxes, 3 boxes, 4 boxes. So I have 4 boxes on my tape diagram. So should you. All right. So 4 bracelets. Each box is a bracelet. And then each bracelet has 6 beads. All right. So I'm going to draw my beads in here. Once again, I'm just going to be boring and do circles. You can draw whatever picture you would like. If you want to draw like fancy gems or colorful beads, that's fine. All right, so if we have these 6 beads on each bracelet and we have 4 bracelets, they want to know how many total beads do we have. Well, before we were counting by 4s, right? So we counted by 4s on the front side of the page, and now we just counted by 4s on number 2. Now we need to count by 6s on this one, right? So we're going to skip count by 6s. So obviously we can put 6 here because we know there's 6 beads in this first box, first bracelet. But now we need to continue to count by 6s here, okay? Skip count by 6s. So if you know what 6 plus 6 more is, you would know that's 12, right? And then if you want to do 6 more after 12, we have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So if you're good at skip counting, you can already write 18. And then 6 more than 18 just means 18 plus 6, which is 24. The multiplication expression for this one would be 4 bracelets. Each bracelet has 6 beads. 4 times 6, that means you're either counting by 6 4 times or 4 6 times. And this one we counted by 6 4 times, right? And we skip counted and we got the answer of 24. Okay. Let's do one more together here. All right, let's move on to number 4. Find the total number of sides on 4 rectangles. All right, so on this one, we don't really have to do a tape diagram. They want us to draw pictures, and they want us to draw 5 rectangles and to see how many total number of sides are on all 4. Okay, I'm going to start by just doing one rectangle. So it looks kind of like a little small tape diagram. So if you know, you probably know this already, but each rectangle has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. All right. I'm going to be kind of lazy with this one and see if I can go ahead and find the answer without drawing 5 rectangles, okay? So if we have 5 rectangles and we just figured out that each rectangle has 4 sides, let's go ahead and write a multiplication expression without actually drawing all 5 rectangles, okay? So the first number that we're talking about here, remember with division, the biggest number has to always come first. With multiplication, it doesn't matter which number comes first because you're multiplying. Kind of like subtraction. When you do subtraction, the biggest number always has to come first because you need a big number to take away from. And addition, it doesn't really matter. You can flip-flop. That's kind of like multiplication and division. All right, so anyway, coming back to this, we have 5 rectangles, right? And we just figured out, and actually you probably already knew this already because you guys are all smart, that each rectangle has 4 sides, right? The question says, if we have 5 rectangles and each one has 4 sides, what's the total number of sides that we're talking about? So 5 rectangles, each one has 4 sides. All that means is we have to count by 5s 4 times. And I think that's easy. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know how to count by 5s, right? Skip count by 5s. So let's go ahead and skip count by 5s 4 times. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20. 4 times. We counted by 5 4 times, and that gave us the answer of 20. So the answer, how many sides does 5 rectangles have? It has 20 total sides. All right. So let's see if you guys can do this on your own for lesson 14 homework. Lesson 14 homework looks like this. So instead of fruit, on this one it has teddy bears, but really it's the same exact thing because you're even skip counting by 4s again. So really it's almost the same exact thing as we just did together. So that is page 1.E.12. You're going to do the front and back. And then if you are an in-person learner when you get to school, I will check your homework page. All right. Anytime you have a question, feel free to send me an email or have your parents send me a Class Dojo message. Talk to you all later. Bye.